Good morning, everyone. So, welcome once again to our personal development class. And we are now in week 6 and 7, and we shall be discussing lessons 26, 27, and 28, which is career planning. Okay, so let's begin. But before we start our discussion, so in week 5, we were able to discuss several topics. No, it's all about family. So we were able to identify the different family structures, and then no, you were able to come up with your own family genogram. No, wherein it's like a family tree, and then you were able to come up with a family plan for better relationships. Okay, so moving on. And for our objectives for week 6 and 7, so at the end of the lessons, no, the learners are expected to, number 1, discuss the different factors, career development concept, and personal life goals influence career planning and decision making. Another, classify career options based on different factors, career development, concepts, and personal life goals. And for the last objective, no, you are to make a career plan based on the identified career options to attain personal life's goals. Okay, so let's begin our discussion. Yan. For our motivation, so I have here situation analysis. So I want you to read the situation, and after that, I'll be asking you to answer our processing questions. Anyone who would like to read the first paragraph? Okay, so thank you. What about the second paragraph? Who would like to read? Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. And for the last 3 paragraphs, who would like to read? Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, so with that, let's answer the processing questions. So the first question is, what are the conflicts encountered in the situation? So anyone who would like to answer the first question? Okay, so thank you. What about the second question? What values and personal traits does John have? Who would like to answer that? Okay, so thank you so much. For the third question, if you were John, what would you do to improve your living while still trying to pursue your dreams? Who would like to answer that question? Okay, so thank you so much. And for the last question, what factors might influence his career planning and decision making? Who would like to answer that? Okay, so thank you so much for participating in our motivational activity. So moving on, yan. It says here, you define your own success. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nito? Anyone who would like to explain this quotation? You define your own success. Okay, so thank you so much for explaining the quotation. So moving on. Ayan, it says here, your skills, interests, and personality that are aligned to your values can influence your career decision making. Kaya yan, no, yun yung quotation na unang uh, pinost ko sa inyo, no, for you to be able to realize that yung mga kakayahan mo, yung mga interest mo, and even your personality, no, that are aligned sa values, yung pagpapahalaga na meron ka. Yan. Yan daw yung mga naka-i-impluwensya sa iyo, no, upang ikaw, no, ay makapag-decide kung anong career ang tatahaking mo, no, for a lifetime na tinatawag. Okay? So moving on. Yan. So let's discuss first the different factors that can influence career decision making. So the first factor is the interest, no? Kung ano yung mga gusto mo. So these are areas that provide enjoyment and learning, which result to a feeling of reward to an individual, no? Kapag gusto mo, 'di ba? Andyan yung interest mo, hindi ka mapapagod, hindi ka magko-complain kahit gawin mo siya ng paulit-ulit, 'di ba? Kahit araw-araw mo siyang gawin, 'di ba? Dahil hilig mo siya, gusto mo siya, gagawin mo siya. Kaya nga provide enjoyment and even learning, 'di ba? Personal interests should be aligned or inclined to career so that it will result no to a satisfying career decision making. So pagpipili ka pala ng career, dapat yun yung gustong-gusto mong gawin. Andun yung interest mo, or else no pag hindi yung interest mo ang nasunod, probably baka hindi ka maging successful dun sa career na kunin mo. Okay, another factor, no? Skills. So these are talents or abilities that can be learned or acquired through training or day-to-day experience. So ito naman yung mga kakayahan na meron ka, 'di ba? Ano yung mga skills, ano yung mga talents, ano yung mga abilities na meron ka. Dapat, no, naka-align din yun sa career na kukunin mo. For example, gusto mo ng engineering courses, di ba? Sa engineering, kailangan you're good in mathematics, no? And you're good in analysis as well, di ba, no? And then if you like no to become a doctor o yung mga medicine courses, kailangan no magaling ka sa mga science subjects, no, lalo na sa biology, no, and even yung relating with people, kasi no you will be curing people, you will be no working with people, so kailangan marunong ka ring no makisalamuha sa ibang tao. So know your talents and know your abilities. Okay, so moving on. Another. So meron na tayong interest, meron na tayong skills. What about values? So kailangan din yan no as a factor, no, that influence your career decision making. So when we say values, these are stable life goals, no, that people have. Ano ba yung mga life goals na pagpapahalaga na meron tayo, no? It is an individual belief or paniniwala that honed no from childhood and throughout his life. So simula pagkabata, no, yan ay ini-inculcate na sa atin, no, hinuhubog na sa atin ng mga tao sa paligid natin, katulad ng ating mga magulang, di ba, no, at hanggang sa pagtanda, di ba? So your priorities, decisions, and behaviors, and even actions na reflect the values that you have acquired since you were a child until old age. So kung ano yung pinapakita daw natin na pag-uugali, no? O kilos, o kung paano tayo nagde-decide, yan. Kakitaan din yun ng mga pagpapahalaga natin sa buhay. And, no? For another factor naman is the personality. I think this is the last, no? When we say personality, it is blended, no, characteristics that are evidently displayed and are important in expressing and communicating. So personality, these are set of traits and characteristics, no, that can be displayed over time. Before we could say that this is your personality, kailangan yan ay na-observe no minimum of 6 months. Hindi po pwedeng ngayon lang tayo nagkita, ngayon ko lang na-observe yung behavior mo, sasabihin ko that's your personality. No. Kailangan makasama kita at maobserbahan kita ng more than 6 months, no, before I could tell you na that's your personality. So these are the feelings, no, thoughts, and behavioral patterns na a person has, kung paano ka mag-isip, no, kung paano yung nagpo-flow yung mga feelings mo, at kung paano yung kilos mo na paulit-ulit mong ginagawa. No, that is your personality. Sabi nga, every individual has a different personality. Kaya no, lagi nating pina-follow yung rule ng individual differences kasi may iba't iba tayong personalidad. Okay? So moving on. Ayan, so sabi nga dito, so improving personal traits no is laid and augmented by accomplishing small personal tasks that are within a time frame. So for you to become no a successful person, so kailangan there must be improvement of the personal traits and characteristics. So hindi po pwedeng magiging na lang tayo, solve na lang tayo o kampante na lang tayo kung anong characteristic or traits na meron tayo. If you want to succeed in life, so definitely you must improve your traits and characteristics. So in short, improve your personality. And when we say no, personal traits. So these are small personal tasks contribute to the personal development called personal goal. Ayan. So kailangan ng personal goal, no, for you to come up with a very good career decision making. So what are your personal goals? Ano ba yung mga gusto mong ma-attain, no? Sa buhay, kailangan meron tayo niyan. Okay, so moving on. So we have here, no, some traits that are needed, no, in developing one's career in achieving life, no, goals. So what are these traits? So ito, una is the self-concept. I think napag-usapan na natin to in the previous, no, lesson. So when we say self-concept, no, this is an individual's perception on different roles, behavior, and opportunities. Anong konsepto meron ka? Anong perception? Anong tingin mo, no, sa mga bagay-bagay katulad ng kung ano yung roles sa buhay, ano yung mga kilos, behavior, no, at opportunities. Nakaka-apekto po yan, no, to come up, no, yan, in one's career, no, in achieving life goals. Another, no, with that, no, dahil nga self-concept ang pinag-uusapan natin, so let's take a look at the career developmental self-concept theory by Donald Super. So anong sinasabi ng theory na to? It says that every individual has different personality traits, values, interests, needs, and abilities that are influence different options in choosing a career profession that fit your qualities and interests, which will eventually result to work satisfaction. Ayan. So dahil tayo ay may kanya-kanyang self-concept, no? May sarili-sarili tayong perceptions at pananaw sa buhay. So definitely nag-iiba din daw, no? Meron tayong kanya-kanyang na pamamaraan, no, for us to choose nga a career profession. Hindi po pwedeng pare-pareho tayo ng patutunguhan o pare-pareho tayo ng magiging decision for a career, di ba? At ang importante that will eventually daw result to work satisfaction. Kapag nasunod yung self-concept mo, yung interest mo, definitely, no, you would be able to achieve work satisfaction. When you are not satisfied, meaning to say, hindi nasunod yung self-concept, mo, no? Or yung self-individual perception na tinatawag. Okay? So moving on. What about self-determination naman? So when we say self-determination, it is when a person decides to act based on the intrinsic motivation. Diba? You are motivated, no, from within. Ibig sabihin, no, ikaw mismo sa sarili mo ang na-motivated na gawin yon. Kaya you are determined. Diba? Kasi pag ibang tao ang nagpupush tayo na gawin yan, hindi yan self-determination at hindi yan intrinsic motivation. Ang tawag natin dyan ay extrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation meaning comes from your inner self. So self-determination is reflected through your choices. Again, ulit-ulit, no, decisions and actions. Sabi nga dito, life experiences and observations motivate you to fulfill your dreams and goals in life. So nakadepende rin daw sa ating experiences at observation ng ating self-determination. Another trait, self-monitoring. So when we say self-monitoring, it is the capacity of a person to watch over his or her behavior and the relationship that he organized within his environment. Okay, so paano mo ba minomonitor yung sarili mo? Or hindi ka ba nagmo-monitor sa sarili mo? Baka mamaya may mga dapat nang baguhin, may mga dapat nang i-improve, and since na hindi ka nagse-self-monitor, wala kang ginagawa, no, for you to improve yourself. So when we say, no, people who are highly sensitive, no, monitor, yan, have a great tolerance to adjust themselves and how they perceive in the environment. Kung ikaw pala daw ay may mataas na sensitivity, no, in monitoring yourself, no, the more daw na may mataas ka ring tolerance or great tolerance, no, to adjust yourself, no, on how they perceive in the environment. Kailangan mong mag-adjust, no, for you to become a successful person. Kasi kapag nahihirapan tayong mag-adjust, probably hindi mo rin na-monitor ng maayos ang sarili mo na kailangan mo palang magbago, di ba? So it is an advantage, no, since it creates and manages a positive environment that might lead to a high probability for success in their career. So pag hindi ka nag-self-monitor at hindi mo na-adjust ang sarili mo, definitely no, walang mataas na probability na makukuha no for success no in your chosen career. So kailangan nagse-self-monitor. Okay? Next. What about proactive personality? So this is when people have the capacity to take actions without being told and use thoughtful analysis to some problems, no? So they are able to see potential cause of problems and are able to understand and decide to change the situation. Proactive people find ways to empower themselves and be productive person. Ayan, importante pala yung maging proactive kasi pag proactive ka, ikaw mismo ang kikilos no para sa sarili mo, 'di ba no? Ikaw mismo ang nakakakita ng kung ano yung sitwasyon, kung ano yung problema and be able to take actions no with that no problem, 'di ba? So, nagiging proactive ka at nagiging productive person ka. Whereas kung ikaw ay magiging reactive, meaning nagpapadala ka sa sitwasyon, magre-react ka. Pag nagalit ang tao sa iyo, magagalit ka din kasi you will become what reactive. Pero pag proactive, hindi ka basta-basta magagalit kasi you will analyze first the situation at titingnan mo kung paano ka magre-respond in a positive manner. So you need to choose to become proactive or reactive kasi when you choose to become proactive, then you will become a successful person. And for another trait is the self-esteem. I think na-discuss na rin natin tong self-esteem. So it is an accumulated life perception of social acceptance or avoidance. When we say self-esteem, it is characterized by the affective strength of your mind. Andito pala yan sa utak natin ng self-esteem. Kasi, people who have high self-esteem, are confident with respect to self and others in achieving success. While low self-esteem is comprised of negative feelings of self-doubt and questioning of self-worth. Kasi feeling mo wala ka pang na-achieve, kaya mababa yung self-esteem mo. Pag when you are happy and satisfied with all the things that you are achieving, mataas ang self-esteem mo. So people with low self-esteem experience frequent punishments, harsh parental standards, and low affection during childhood. So kung yan yung mga nararanasan mo, probably you would be able to have low self-esteem. So anong dapat gawin para tumaas? Kailangan ma-appreciate natin yung mga achievements natin in our lives, for us to have what? High self-esteem. Okay, so moving on. What about naman self-efficacy? When we say self-efficacy naman is the ability to finish a task successfully within the time frame. Yung pagiging effective natin, di ba? Nagagawa ba nating tapusin yung mga bagay, sa pag sinet natin yung time na to? Di ba? So with that, kung nagawa mo, you are what? Effective and you are efficient na tinatawag. So dapat lagi may ganon. So these are people who have an organized self-management and discipline. So may disiplina at merong self-management na tinatawag pag meron kang self-efficacy, di ba? And people with low self-efficacy naman tend to procrastinate, di ba? Bukas na lang, saka na lang, mamaya na lang, That result to stress because of uncontrollable accumulation of work. Nagpatong-patong na, kaya nai-stress. Okay? What about locus control naman? So when we say locus control, so people who have high sense of responsibility in controlling lives have high internal locus control. So they believe that they can control their own destiny. O sino dito yung ganyan? While people with low external locus control naman feel things happen because of other people, lack or by powerful beings that may lead to depression. Kasi parang nahalin tulad natin yung ating buhay kasi ito ay kinokontrol ng ibang tao o kaya naman dahil ito yung kapalaran, kasi ito yung swerte, ay kasi malas ako, di ba Pero kapag meron kang high locus control, meron kang sense daw of responsibility in controlling your life, This is my life, and it is my responsibility to control it. Pag ganyan, mataas ang locus control mo, di ba? And people with high internal locus control have high participation, motivation in life, and positive regard to all things, especially in their work kasi you are in control of yourself. Okay, so moving on. Ayan. So, for the factors that influence career planning and decision making, so I have here several factors. So this time naman, I want you to pick one factor and tell us paano siya nakaka-influence, no, sa pagpili ng inyong career o yung pag-come up sa career planning and decision making ninyo. Okay, who would like to start? Okay, so thank you so much. Moving on. So this time naman, no, let's check the different career development concepts. So tingnan lang natin siya ng in a simple manner para mas maunawaan nyo. So we will say Bandura's social cognitive theory. So this elaborates yung self-efficacy, yung kaninang na-discuss ko, wherein an individual's characteristic where a person performs in a certain level of work according to his or her confidence to accomplish a task. Diba? So kung ito yung nakikita niyo yung sarili mo na you have your efficacy, you have your effectiveness, 'di ba? Nakikita mo na confident ka in a certain manner na magagawa ko 'to, ma-achieve ko 'to, no, matatapos ko 'to, no. So applicable sa yung Bandura's social cognitive theory. So sabi nga this confidence, no, is an outcome of someone's past activities, experiences and accomplishment. 'Di ba? Nanggagaling daw 'yan sa past experiences natin, okay? At saka yung mga achievements in our lives. Okay? So moving on. What about naman super career development theory? So ito naman yung postulates that a person undergoes several stages in career development, no? Meron siyang synthesizing into 5, no? Super outlines 5 developmental stages that occur in the career development of individual. So merong development daw na susundin. So kapag super career development theory ang ating titingnan. And for the Holland's theory of vocational choice naman, it emphasizes naman the relationship between personality and the work, no, and the world of work. So ano yung relationship ng personalidad mo sa world of work na napili mo, no? So essentially, the theory of vocational personalities in work environment discusses that individual looks for an environment that is attached to his or her personality, personal characteristics, and even view of the world. So, kung ikaw ay extrovert, di ba, no, outgoing, so definitely yung world of work mo, gusto mo yung maingay din, maraming tao, di ba? Pero kapag introvert ka, so definitely gusto mo yung you will work with less people o kaya yung talagang on your own, kaya mo makomply yung isang task na yon, di ba? So, kasi nga, kailangan mag-jive yung personality mo dun sa world of work na pipiliin mo, no, para mag-succeed ka in life. Okay? So moving on. Ayan. So for different development factors naman, so definitely napaka importante ng personal. Meaning your self-assessment contributes to your career choice, hence personal decision making. Paano mo ba tinitingnan yung sarili mo? Paano mo ba ina-assess yung sarili mo? If you are thinking big and thinking positive, definitely maganda yung assessment mo sa sarili mo, 'di ba? Pero kung you are looking down, no, sa sarili mo, tingin mo wala kang magagawa, feeling mo wala kang na-accomplish, definitely hindi rin magiging maganda yung pagtingin mo sa career mo. Okay? Of course, the academic. Yan, malaking factor yan. 'Di ba? Kaya laging sinasabi maging masipag kayo, gandahan niyo yung grades ninyo, 'di ba? Kasi these are experiences in the educational platform also serves as factor in career development, no. As students competencies and are challenged yet honed in school. Kaya sipagan natin ang pag-aaral, sipagan natin ang pag-attend sa klase kasi yung mga competencies na pinoprovide ng teachers, yung mga competencies na meron tayo per subject ay importante yan, no? When you become an employee someday, magagamit niyo po lahat yan. Next, familial. So since humans are social in nature and that people are at times influenced by surroundings, so leaning to a certain career path may be affected by familial factors. Anong meron sa pamilya, 'di ba? Anong interest ng family? Ano yung history ng career sa family? So 'yun, nakakaapekto din po 'yan. Okay? Next. Ayan. Of course, the personality types, nakakaapekto ng malaki yan, no, in career development. So meron tayong tinatawag na ENFP personality type code, di ba? E for extroversion. Ito yung mga outgoing, di ba? I for intuition naman. Ito yung mga possibilities in the future that given heavy considerations because you can sense evidences more than the five senses can provide you. Intuition kutob, ito yung pakiramdam ko, feeling ko magiging successful ako pag ito yung tinahak ko, di ba? F for feeling. Ito naman yung decisions, no, are accounted for consulting your feelings and values, di ba? So, ito yung nararamdaman ko eh. Dito ako masaya eh. Ay, parang malungkot ako pag dyan, di ba? So, kinukonsider din natin yan. And of course, yung perceiving na tinatawag, ito yung planning, no, is not considered because you are spontaneity and flexibility as your strongest edge. Perceive, ano yung napo-perceive mo? O ano yung pinapo-perceive mo, di ba? So pag yan ang inano mo, hindi applicable nga daw yung planning na tinatawag. Kasi spontaneous ka lang eh, kung ano lang yung nakita mo, kung ano lang yung na-perceive mo, di ba? So yun na yung magiging factor ng career development or decision making na meron ka. Okay? So that's personality types. So merong 4. Okay? Next naman, another factor is the interest. So, na-explain ko na sa inyo yan. So, kailangan naka-incline ang career choice sa interest ng isang tao. And of course, the aptitude o yung ability, a natural ability to do something. Anong meron ka? Ano yung mga innate abilities? Anong meron ka? Diba? No? Dapat kino-consider mo yan. Magaling ka sa pakikipag-usap, magaling ka physically, sa kinesthetic, diba? Tingnan nyo yung mga multiple intelligences. So, tingnan nyo yan. Ano yung natural ability na meron kayo? Dapat nakaka-influensya yon sa career development nyo. Okay? Next. Ayan. So, since now we all done with the different concepts, factors, no, affecting no, a career development, this time naman, I'll be teaching you no, to come up with a career plan. Kailangan may plano. Hindi po pwedeng sabak tayo ng sabak sa isang gera na wala tayong plano. So, tingnan natin yung career natin na parang war, 'di ba? No? So kailangan magplano tayo. So when we say career plan, this includes what a short-term and long-term goals of for your career. So dalawa 'yan, short-term and long-term. So when we say career planning, it is the self-evaluation and planning done by a person to have a strong career path. So kasama diyan yung factor ng self-evaluation and planning when you are doing career planning. So with that, when you are doing your planning, so you need to ask yourself, who manages your career? 'Di ba? Is it you or other people? 'Di ba? Parang mas maganda ata. You're the one who will manage your career. And who makes the decision? Sino magde-decide? 'Di ba? Ikaw ba o ibang tao? Or you can get opinions of others, but at the end of the day, you will be the one to decide for your own career in life. Okay? So moving on. Ayan. So when we say career planning, it's a lifelong process. So kaya kailangan talaga pinag-iisipan at pinagpaplanuhang mabuti, no? Which includes choosing an occupation, getting a job, growing in our job, possibly changing careers, and eventually retiring. 'Di ba? Lifelong talaga. Hindi po pwedeng ito lang yung naisip ko for this moment. Hindi mo na inisip what about the other years or yung retiring stage mo. Kailangan kasama yon sa planning. And it means to plan what job you would like to do for most or the rest of your life. Panghabang buhay po. Kaya dapat talagang pag-isipan na matama. Okay? Next. Ayan. So, eto, laging ligaw ang mga tao dito eh. So, let's differentiate job from career. 'Di ba? Anyone who would like to tell us what's the difference of a job in a career? Okay, so thank you so much. Sabi nga when we say job is more of short term and when we say career it's more of long term success, 'di ba? Sabi nga pag sinabing job, ito yung dialogue mo, I can't wait to get off of work. Pagkatapos ng job, tapos ka na, wala ka nang pake, 'di ba? But when you are pushing with a career, ang tanong mo diyan, what can I do to help? Kasi kailangan for a lifetime 'yan. So kailangan andun yung urge to help. Okay? Another. So when we say job, no, these are often activities that are done in exchange for money. 'Di ba, no? Kaya 'di ba part-time job, 'di ba? Gagawin ko 'to kasi may ano siya, equivalent na sweldo. It's a job, 'di ba, no? But when we say career, it is something that a person wishes to have. Though it could also be done in exchange for money. Pero ang unang-unang nananaig sa career ay yung interest, yung gustong-gusto mong gawin. No? So when you are able to do that, yung mga bagay na gusto mo, syempre, kasama na rin na syempre dapat may exchange for money. So that's a career. Pero pag job lang, gusto mo lang for money, job lang yon. Okay? Next, moving on. Ayan. So, for you to come up with a career plan, you should know yourself. Kilalanin ang sarili. Assess yourself, 'di ba? Know your likes, your dislikes, no, 'di ba? Know your interests, 'di ba? Know your abilities, know your skills. Knowing yourself means knowing your purpose in life. What is your purpose in life? 'Di ba? Yan ang pinaka-importante na dapat masagot nyo for you to know yourself. Another, explore your options. So you need to discover careers to find what you really want. Ano ba talagang gusto mo? So with that, know your options, 'di ba? Focus on what you want to do and how to get there, 'di ba? Option A, option B, option A to Z. Importante 'yan. Learn the skills needed to pursue the career of your dreams, 'di ba? Next, make decisions. Meaning, it is the process of making logical choices from the available options. So, dahil inalam mo na yung mga different options mo, you need to come up with a decision, di ba? No, by identifying nga yung decision, gathering information, and assessing alternative resolutions. Importante pong mag-decide. And I think na naturo ko na sa yung decision making before pa po. Okay? And of course, moving on. When we say moving on, it is more about learning to live and managing your career to help yourself succeed. Kailangan mag-move on tayo, kumilos tayo, or else no, how can you achieve your career goal kung hindi ka naman kikilos. So, kailangan yung plano, 'di ba, no, magawa, maisagawa. Yung drawing makulayan, 'di ba? Lagi niyo sinasabi, 'di ba? O yung plano na isagawa din, natupad din. So, that's moving on. Okay? Next. Ayan. So we have here no 6 steps to make a career plan. So napakasimple. To summarize, no, number 1, assess yourself to know who you are and what you want. Number 2, explore careers to find a career you want. Number 3, set goals to reach the career. Number 4, expand your skills to prepare for your career. Baka kasi kailangan mo pa ng mga exploration and honing your skills. Importante 'yan. Find a job that matches your goals. Importante 'yan. Baka wag kang pupunta sa isang job or career na hindi nagma-match sa gusto mong mangyari sa buhay. And of course, last, manage your career to help yourself succeed. So you will be the one to manage your own career for you to be successful in life. Okay? So with that, no, for career planning, so iikot lang po yan dito. Know your values, learn about yourself, identify your skills, no? You can research for career options and link your major and your career, no? Then cycle lang po yan. Kung hindi naging successful, balik uli, know your values na naman. Okay? Next. And the best way, no, to predict the future is to create it. So if you want to see your future, you must create it. Okay? So with that, so what are the takeaways that you have for today? Anyone who would like to answer that? Okay, so thank you so much. So with that, let me discuss the different activities that you need to accomplish during your asynchronous time. So for activity number 1, that is intended for lesson 26, which is personal goal mind mapping. So ito yung illustration natin kung paano gagawin si mind mapping. So all you need to do is what? No? Yun nga, personal goals focuses on the different areas like family, personal traits and interests, skills, financial and education, and a lot more, no? Pwede natin i-attach yan sa personal goal. So in creating a mind map, all you need to do is to focus on the main idea that you are going to explore. So ito yon, personal goal. This is the main idea. Then add branches, and po yung mga yan, branches, and keywords or yung mga sub ano po, no, idea and the main idea, di ba, of the main idea. So you can add another branch and color code it. So let the information flow by adding child branches of information and ideas that relate to the concept. Okay, so that's activity number 1. Moving on. For activity number 2 naman, so that's intended for lesson 27. Ito yung my career options, di ba? All you need to do is to fill out the table. So we have here the table of career options, and base your options accordingly to your identified career factors that might affect and help you decide on a career in the future. Ayan. So let's have here na an example. So taking up AB Psychology in Philippine Normal University, that's one option. Actually, that's my option before. So identify the career factors that affects, no, or can help you decide for it. Siyempre, personal interest, that's my interest, psychology, no? Aptitude, andun yung skills ko. And of course, yung familial, the financial matter. PNU is a state university, so definitely free ang tuition fee. So, nasosolve yung financial concern ko dyan. Next, identify the career development concept that would be explain your option. Siyempre, ang pinili ko si Bandura's social cognitive theory, di ba? Kasi dun yung suwak, no, yung decision ko. And identify your personal life goals that would match to your option. Of course, ano ba yung personal life goals ko? To become an expert school psychologist someday, which is nagagampanan ko naman, no, as of today. So that's activity number 2. So tatlo po ang kailangan na career options, no? Next. For the last, no, activity number 3, lesson 28, no, these are the career planning na. So make a career plan based on your identified career options, no, to attain your personal life goals. So tatlo din po ang kailangan na career goals. Like we have here example, no? Halimbawa, example, to earn a 4-year degree. So ang gusto kong ma-earn ay yung psychology, no? Course, 'di ba? 4-year course kasi yan. So, ang time frame ko, syempre, mag-enroll ako ng 2022, dapat matapos siya ng 2026, di ba? And we have here several steps, no, to take to accomplish, no, the goal. So, maglalagay ka lang ng mga steps, no, or procedure on how to accomplish your career goals. So, again, 3 goals din po. In each goal, kailangan merong different steps, no, to take, no, to accomplish your goal. Okay? And of course, ayan, for activity number 4, you are tasked to answer the 5-item quiz. And for activity number 5, no, you are tasked to write your reflection regarding the topics. No, it's all about career planning. Okay, so that's it. And I hope to see you next week, guys. Okay, bye-bye.